Always remember, your focus determines your reality. Stay close to me, and you'll be safe.
Hey guys, how you doing? Today we're going to be chatting about more Padme stuff. Today, or last night I guess you could say, Padme came out for the second time, so congrats to everybody who's getting her the second time, but I want to go in a more depth of a, versus guide of what Padme can counter. And not just, the both Revan teams, but I want to go more in depth on actually the Sisters and Grievous teams. And I also kind of maybe should be, doing another little thing with mirror match Padme if you do happen to have to fight that in your GAs. So those three we're going to hit on today. We're going to hit on the Sisters, Grievous, and also mirror match Padme. So I actually want to mention a little bit before we get into the videos that the modding, if you went into a GA and you already had a malak counter, and you want to use and utilize Padme elsewhere, either defensively or offensively, to take out Sisters, a bunch of other teams, Boba Fett teams, or Bounty Hunter teams rather, and other teams like First Order, just like other stuff, guys, besides the malak counter. Pretty much what I'm trying to say here is you should really mod them totally differently. This malak counter is very, very specific in the mods, and the ones outside of the malak counter are totally easier actually to mod. And you should really consider modding them differently if you're not going to be using them as your malak counter. What I'm trying to say here, guys. So like right now, I'm running the slow Padme mod still. Everything's slow for Padme. 224. I might just keep everybody else's sets. Maybe bump up Anakin's a little bit. And yeah, he's pretty slow right now. And even Ahsoka. Like I think Ahsoka is going to be super nice to have a little bit faster in non-malak counters. And then 3PO if you're going to use 3PO. He's pretty, he's already pretty fast as of right now. So if you were to run these guys in non-malak counters, I would highly recommend you guys making Padme your fastest. Followed up, if you were to use 3PO, actually 3PO is really great defensively because that totally just neuters an EP Vader team for them to counter with. And yeah, if you were to run 3PO, probably want to make him pretty quick as well, getting out the confuses and more assists. Also consider making your GK quite fast as well. And having, Anakin and Ahsoka mod for a lot of offense, a lot of crit damage. More specifically, the crit damage for your Anakin, and a lot more offense for your Ahsoka. Right now I have these mods, just a bunch of offense. But if I was to run this outside of malak counter, I would put a crit damage on the triangle right now. And for Anakin, I would go for a bunch of crit damage, a lot of crit chance, bumping up his offense numbers, just through the roof. Not worrying too much about potency, not worrying too much about his HP protection. Yeah, it does help, but versus other teams, I would rather him hitting like a truck than just absorbing all the hits. So yeah, I think you totally want to remod them differently depending on how you're using them. So we kind of went over the mods for teams outside of malak teams, but now we'll go into the 3 different matches we have today. Alright, so we're going to start off with the Grievous counter for today, and pretty much this is quite simple. This is what I'm running right here is a Padme team with pretty much everything I would be running in my slow Padme team. Everything for the mods is all the same. Everybody is super slow. And having a faster Padme versus this team would be extremely helpful. Outspeeding one of their guys, getting the extra protection up, kick early on really is helpful here. And having Padme really slow does not help you out one bit. So pretty much what you're trying to do here is to try to hit B1 stacks off completely or get them pretty low. And also at the same time you want to be doing a lot of damage to B2, and then at that point, B2, B1's almost dead. You want to work down Grievous. You're going to get a bunch of extra stacks of courage here. Another thing that's important, you do want to kind of wait for B2's dispels. If you can time it right to, waiting for his dispel to happen and not trying to attack anybody else, having to worry about his extra bonus turn, that's really useful here. And yeah, so another team you could run here, guys, is another team with Barris in as the 5th. So this is actually really great for GAs because you don't need to worry about 3PO. You can actually use 3PO elsewhere in a CLS team, or if you want to run him with JTR, you can run him in JTR. So right now we're going to run with Barris as the 5th. So this is really nice. Don't need to worry about 3PO. Similar situation here, guys. You do want to work down, the stacks of B1s. And you want to work down also B2 at the same time. But I would kind of, if I were to replay this one, this was a little bit ago, I would probably want to go for B2 a little bit earlier, trying to, not having to worry about his extra dispels is super really nice to not have to worry about, super annoying to have to worry about. And, it is a little bit tougher because without 3PO, you're not getting a lot of extra stacks of protection up. The only really way for you to receive those is from Padme's cleanse, really. That's about it. And counterattacks and attacks out of turn from the enemy team. But right now we were super slow of taking out B2. We were just now to B1, and it is now crunch time. We're trying to kill Grievous, and I just want to point this out. This team with Newt, I exclusively am showing you guys this footage versus Newt because this Newt team has been proving me the hardest times. Instead of the Droideka team. Droideka teams are really easy to burn through, and these Newt teams are a lot harder to deal with because of the extortion mechanic. So this is a nice little gameplay of you guys if you want to use Padme in the future. But now we see the Grievous team, so let's move on. So really quick, guys, this is actually a Bounty Hunter team. I just want to show you guys that you can easily undersize this team and also the Nightsister team with the Padme team. So just really fast, these ones are actually quite quick. And honestly, depending on the Nightsister team and depending on the Jango team or, Bounty Hunter teams like Boss Khalid, you can, 3v5 this with just Anakin, Padme, and GK. Ahsoka is nice, especially if the boss has the unique Zeta for the taunt. So in that regards, I'd probably stick with Ahsoka in there for the dispel. But if they don't have that, you could really undersize this team and get the job done pretty quick. So we're going to speed it up a little bit here. This one did have Nest in it. But, with the courage stacks, Nest is pretty much going to die really fast anyways. So, yeah, there's not really a kill order to this team here. And neither is there really a kill order to, the other team as well. Pretty much you just go for, like, the really annoying ones that you would typically go for. Have courage, just do the, courage thing. Just one-shot a bunch of them, and you just keep going on. So now we'll move over to the Nightsister one. Alright, so here is the Nightsister one, guys. And we are going to go with a full 5 here. I do not think you need 3PO, and I am almost certain you don't need 3PO on this team, but I was fighting a whole Gear 13 Nightsister team, so that really made me want to just be safe about the whole thing and make sure that I won it without having to lose anybody. So, I do think 3PO is nice, and if you wanted to, I would probably, if I were to go back in this one, I probably would not even use Ahsoka and just keep with 3PO because of his, intermediary unique where they gain a bunch of extra protection up stacks. And there's not really, too much of a hassle with Zombie being here. You pretty much, with 3PO, you just land the Confuse, go after the other people. Once you get revived, another stack of Confuse, and can do the buff immunity. There isn't really much to be said about this one. This is very easy. You just do the 2 kills, and then after 2 kills, you go straight for Daka. After Daka, you just take them out one by one. So we'll speed this one up a little bit. And honestly, guys, if you're gonna be using Padme versus really any team besides both Revans, and in my opinion, GG can be kind of annoying as well. You can almost always undersize teams and get really easy banners. For Malaks, of course, you're going to be using the slow Padme team, and you don't always get, full banners from that. The Jedi Revan ones, you can lose some because of the marks. So if the marks land on the wrong people, you can lose some from that. So that's not always, ideal. And also for the Grievous, you might lose some to, Grievous's AoE when it does happen. So that can be, a little bit annoying as well. So these are, easy banner teams that you get a lot of extra banners from undersizing them. And they are super nice. Right now, guys, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to kill Zombie and trying to wait for Padme's second turn of cleanse. That way I get more protection up, but we didn't. We got 56 banners this time around. I honestly think I didn't even need Ahsoka in this one. I could have just ran this with 3PO. So this one is a nice little thing with the sisters, and we'll finish this up with a mirror match Padme. All right, here is the mirror match. We are using Yoda in this one. You do not need Yoda, and I honestly would rather just use Ahsoka. I couldn't find any other ones I use Ahsoka in, or I just wasn't looking hard enough. I have a lot of different, GA stuff on my channel, so it's really hard to, look back into my videos and see which ones are which. So in this one, Ahsoka is super nice. You can see on the enemy team, every single time they're doing an assist, or whenever they're doing a special, she's called in to assist, dispelling my GK's taunt. And I really think GK is nice in these ones, especially because whenever they have an enemy Ahsoka, she's gonna be doing her assist frequently. So GK's protection up is gonna go through the roof, and Yoda is only really here to provide more protection up stacks. I would honestly think Ahsoka is really the best bet here in mirror matches, or just don't even use Ahsoka and use like a weird GR instead, like a Mace or a Qui-Gon. Definitely can still pull it off here. The Yoda and the Ahsoka spot it's not really required in these mirror matches. So yeah, but the main thing here, guys, and the one I probably should touch up on here first in this team, is you should only use your basics. Do not use assists, and don't use attack out of turns. I don't think there's any attack out of turns in this, but don't use, like 3PO's here, don't use his assist early on. Don't use GK's assist early on. Use like the cleanse, use like basics for Padme, use her cleanse, and use, especially use 3PO's basic as well, and don't use his assist. You don't want to give extra protection up stacks to the enemy Padme team. And when the AI plays that for their Padme, they're always going to be doing their assists and all their stuff, and you're going to be getting a bunch of extra protection up. So in these counters, you really want to make sure that you are not doing that, and you want to just do basics and not calling in any other assists, because that is going to screw you over. So just a little tip here, a little tip. I don't know why I can't say that word. A little tip, and that's pretty much it for this one, and we'll move on. So to wrap up this one, guys, pretty much just mod them completely differently for the slow Padme in the Darth Revan Malak teams. I will link in the description. I will link the recent video I did on the updated guide to the slow Malak, or to the slow Padme versus Malak teams, and I will link you guys how to use Padme versus Jedi Knight Revan, and that's an updated guide as well. I will link those two in the description. So be sure to check out those two. And then I want this video here to be an overview of pretty much every other team in the game, because there isn't really any other teams that I can think of that really cause Padme problems. Padme is a super fun team to use right now, and a really fun faction altogether. I can't wait for the 5th, guys, and this team is going to be nuts when we get that 5th. I really anticipate this to be a meta team, and I just can't wait for the 5th to come out. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. If you did like it, give it a like, share, and sub for more type of content, guys. It really does help with you liking and sharing and subbing. It really makes the videos more poppin', and share with others really helps, and subbing really does help as well. We are on to the 3K sub goal for my channel, so be sure to sub if you're new here, guys. There's a Discord and a Patreon if you guys want to check out those two. Daily discussions in the Discord, and I can also help you more in depth in the Discord as well. That's it for me though today, guys, and I'll see you later.